Mr. Rudkin was born on June 8, 1960. When he was less than a year old, he moved from California to Bloomington.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
Probably all the big Christmas dinners that we have with a lot of relatives and a lot of family members and everything.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I knew fairly early on that I would be a teacher probably by the time I was in middle school.
Mr. Rudkin went to college at Ball State and Indiana University. He started teaching at Batchelor in 1992.
Why did you pick Batchelor to teach?
I was in the process of, I had been a small school band director for about 4 years, and I was looking to teach social studies and coach, and I just happened to put in an application in Monroe County Schools in January. It was actually at the end of the first semester, looking. At the time, I thought I would just substitute teach till I could try to catch on somewhere, and they happened to have an opening in Batchelor teaching general music and assisting with band and choir. And when I interviewed, I said what I really wanted to do was teach social studies and coach, and they said if I would take the job, that when an opening came up in social studies, that I could move into that. So I took the job and taught music here for a year and a half before I moved into social studies.
Then Mr. Rudkin started the B-TV program.
Started the B-TV program in fall of 1995. The way it started was I was teaching social studies and computers. I had computer classes here at Batchelor and taught programming and things like that. But they were looking to phase out the computer program and to be able to keep me here at Batchelor all day instead of me having to be split between schools. They said we needed to find a technology elective that could replace the computer classes, and I had taken classes in college in telecommunication. We started B-TV The Club in 1995, had about 40 kids in it, and then the next year it started as a class, started as one class the first year, and then built it up to 3 classes, and then after we survived being split into 2 schools, they split Batchelor into Batchelor and Jackson Creek, of course. And so we lost half of our students, but we survived that and have built it up since. Since 2003, it's had enough students for 6 classes a day.
What is the hardest thing you've been through?
Hardest thing I've been through was about 5.5 years ago, or about 6 years ago. I started feeling sick in the fall, in the late fall, and started feeling worse and worse. Finally, teachers here at Batchelor made me go to the doctor and everything. I didn't want to go to the doctor, but they made me go to the doctor. Got a doctor's appointment, and they diagnosed me with something called endocarditis, which is a virus that gets into your heart and everything, and it's pretty serious actually. So I had to take the last 5 weeks of school off to go through medical treatment for that. And then in the fall I started back to school. I went through the treatment and thought I was cured, and it came back on me. So 6 weeks into the new school year, I had to take another 9 weeks off and have open heart surgery to cut out the heart valve and replace it with an artificial heart valve to get rid of the disease. And that was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to go through.
What are the biggest awards you've won in the B-TV program?
B-TV program has won a lot of awards. We used to compete, well, in 2001, that was the first year we won the state media fair, state championship in video. We've won that 3 times and won other categories as well. We used to compete in what was called the International Student Media Festival, which was the national media festival, and we won a lot of awards in that over the years. Our first one was in 2001 with Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and we got to take our first trip ever to Atlanta And since that time, there have been like 34 trips or something like that. We started competing at the International Student Film Festival Hollywood and won that 20 times. Those are big awards too. We just won a Gold Telly Award this past year, which are very difficult to win. We've won a lot of film festivals over the years and everything, so there's been a lot of great awards for B-TV.
And what is your most memorable B-TV memory?
Probably the first time we won state and the first time we won nationals. Of course, that's always special, but each one since has also been special. I don't know, there's some of the people that we got to interview over the years. We had a crew interview Emmy Award-winning actor Edward Asner. I got to take students to Grammy Award-winning country artist Ray Stevens' studio and interview him there. That was another big award we won as well. We been honored twice by the National School Board Association as the best middle school video production program in the country. And the second time it was sponsored by Apple, and they provided us with our first iMac and everything. We won it from them and everything. They paid for an all-expense-paid trip to Nashville, Tennessee, and put 5 of my students, myself, and a chaperone up in the Opryland Resort for like 5 days and paid for all of our meals. I gave the kids each an iPod and featured their work at a conference with over 7,000 people and everything. So that was great.
What are you most proud of?
Well, I'm just proud of the program and everything, but some of the things we've done that I'm really proud of is that the students wrote and published a book about World War II several years ago, back in 2006, with over 75 interviews with World War II veterans and Holocaust survivors and everything. That was a big thing that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the exchange program that we came up with the school in England and everything, and have taken exchange trips over there 4 times and brought their students over here, and that's been a big accomplishment. So.
What are your plans after retirement?
After retirement, I don't know. I'm still thinking about what I could do after retirement. Maybe putting together a little company to tape like weddings and things like that and edit videos for people or something. I haven't really thought about it a whole lot, but I will need to find something to do to keep me occupied.
What do you hope for B-TV in the future?
I hope we can keep it going for a few more years. I hope I'm going to try to stay with it for at least a couple more years after this year. And we'll see beyond that. I hope that when it comes time for me to retire, that they will find someone that I could train and teach to take over the program.
Mr. Rudkin is an exceptional teacher in person. He has made such an impact on his students. Thank you, Mr. Rudkin, for everything you do.